Hello everyone, welcome to the class of data mining. This introductory video is really just to give you some overview points about the class. And I want to just go over a couple of things that I think are going to be key throughout the entire 9 or 10 weeks that we're together. First off, data mining is a fairly complex topic, and it's going to be one that we delve into as much as we can, basically. I'm going to take my cues from you guys. If I'm overwhelming you, I'll back off a little bit. If I feel like you're getting the material really well, then I'm going to go ahead and keep pushing a little harder. But we'll go through the topic as best we can, considering where everybody is at. The other thing I want to make kind of clear is it's really important that you read that first chapter. The first chapter introduces the topic of data mining, and it goes through it in a lot of detail, but it also gives you an 11-step process for data mining, and we're going to work through each of those steps, or most of those steps. So, for example, the first step is to really acquire your data. The second step is to visualize your data, and so we'll do each of those things. We'll acquire a data set, we'll look it over, we'll then visualize the data set, looking for outliers and looking for things that are wrong or looking for things that need to be corrected or addressed. And we'll just work through each one of those 11 steps. My goal is to give you enough of a feel for data mining that you actually walk away with some pretty good understanding of how the whole process works. But a couple things I want to caution you on. The textbook I chose uses R, and R is a scripting language. It is a scripting language that's been around for a very long time, and it's used by statisticians and scientists because it's, in many cases, the best language to do what they want. You'll see that as we start learning R, you might question yourself as to why are we doing this in R when most of the stuff can be done in Excel? We will rapidly get to a place where it's really hard to do some of this stuff in Excel. So R turns out to be the better choice. The earlier versions of the textbook that I chose for this class did use an add-on in Excel, but the authors have decided to take the latest version and move it to R. So we're going to be learning R. Now, this is not an R class. This is a data mining class. So R is just a tool to get us to where we need to be, learning data mining and the like. So there might be a bit more emphasis on R than you would have expected, but again, it's really just to get us to learn the data mining steps. So the textbook assumes a knowledge of R. So the first 2 weeks, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you go through 6 courses, 6 chapters actually, in a single course on a site called DataCamp. Now, you've all been entered into DataCamp, and you all should have been contacted by DataCamp, and you will have free access to DataCamp's modules that will allow you to sort of do it, and it's an intro to R class, so it's important that you get a feel for it. But there's some key stuff that they leave out. They really don't go into data loading and what you can do to a data file once you've loaded it, and that's one of the first things they cover in the textbook. So I'm going to give you a lesson, and I'll give you many lessons that are done on video, which is just basically me poking around on the computer with PowerPoint slides and either R or RStudio and showing you exactly how you need to load a data file or what it is you need to do. I'll show you exactly how to do all of it. So don't worry if you can't figure out what the book is talking about. I don't expect you to know what the book is talking about. They've gone into a lot of R, a lot of depth, and I'm going to try to cover or bridge that gap. So again, don't worry about R. I'll show you how to do it, and we'll be good. Now a little bit about the textbook. It goes pretty. First of all, I apologize for the cost, but I had a really difficult time finding a textbook that I thought was going to be an appropriate textbook that would cover data mining in a way that didn't completely overwhelm people who are not comfortable with programming and technology, but yet not be too easy. So I found one finally that I think bridges that gap. But we're not going to use all of it, even though it's expensive. Well, there's going to be we'll look at parts of chapters, and other parts of chapters we'll probably skip over. So be careful when you see the reading. Read those parts that I've asked you to read for sure. You can go ahead and read on if you want. There's a whole companion site as well called dataminingbook.com, and you can register at dataminingbook.com, and it will give you tools and all kinds of things that you can use that go along with it. I will pull down the data files that we're going to use. Each one that's referred to in the book is on that site, and I'll pull them down and probably post them in the Canvas course so that you have access to them as we do our exercises. Let's see. Oh, one last thing about the textbook is it moves pretty fast. While it's pretty clear to read and it makes its points pretty clear, it blows along pretty fast. And so that's why I'm only going to give you parts of the pages to read. If you have questions during the course, please don't hesitate. If you're struggling with something, please let me know. I am actually best reached by email. I have an iPhone. I check it several times a day, and I will get back to you as fast as I can. If you call me, it's probably going to actually be longer for me to get back to you, simply because I turn my ringer off. While I have an iPhone, I don't particularly like the sound of it ringing. So if it rings, I may not hear it, and it may be a while before I actually do get back to you. But if you have a question, I'm happy to set up a call and work through whatever challenges or issues you may run into. But do not hesitate to ask. There have been times people have been stuck on something in R, and it takes just 15-minute conversation, and they're off and running. And so let's let that be an option that I give you, simply because I need you guys to be able to sort of feel comfortable with the material. All right, that's kicking us off. Like I said, I will make several videos. There will be several videos posted throughout this class, probably at least one each week, showing you what it is I want you to do, and kind of giving you an overview. The first one that I'm going to post is actually going to be probably in Module 2 or Module 3, and it's going to be a video on how to load data. Since the data camp chapters don't go over that, I'm going to go over it. So we're going to load a West Roxbury data file, and I'm going to have you play around with it a little bit so you can get a feel for it. And then the second video I'm going to do is probably going to be one where I show you how to visualize data. Once we've gotten a data set loaded, then we need to look at it and see what it looks like and whether or not there's any problems with it. And we'll just keep going module by module. I will make a video for you, and I will work through that video and show you how to do this. By the end of the quarter, you will have a pretty good idea of what it takes to do data mining. And that will set us up for the following quarter in the summer, when we're going to do data analysis and data visualization. Okay, again, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Email is the best. I'm not great on the phone, but I will try my best to call you back as fast as I can. And we're going to have a great time. So here we go.